Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tay, and today I am revisiting the Tortured Poets department. I wanted to see how I'm feeling about it now that the era is coming to a close. It feels like it was such a big part of my life, and yet I'm kind of ready for the next era. Like, I'm eagerly awaiting Showgirl, even though Tortured Poets is one of my favorite albums. So I just wanted to sit down and think about how I really feel about this album, especially because I know I'm not going to be streaming it as much once the Showgirl comes out. Also, this video is just for the original songs from Tortured Poets. I'm going to make a part 2 specifically for the anthology, because talking about all 31 songs is going to be too much for one video. So Fortnight, I have a lot to say about Fortnight. I think she's my favorite song. It's either this or Fresh Out the Slammer. I just really love Fortnight. In my head, I have constructed what I call the Fortnight dream theory, and it's not really a theory because I don't have evidence. It's just a narrative that I've made up. To me, this song is her having a dream or nightmare about everything that happened with both Joe and Maddie. It feels like she's reliving the situation over and over. Like, it's like she's having a recurring nightmare about what happened. So you know how in a dream, you might be in your house, but when you wake up, you're like, that looked nothing like my house. But within the dream, your brain is like, this is your house. And you're like, it is my house, even though it's not. That's the energy that this song gives. Like, she talks about her husband cheating, and like Joe wasn't her husband, and it doesn't seem like he cheated. She also refers to Maddie as her neighbor, which doesn't make any sense because he's in literally another country, and at the end of the song she's saying another fortnight lost in America. So it's like he's literally in another country, and yet he's also her neighbor, and both of these things are true because it's a dream. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, like, the lyrics don't make sense on purpose because Taylor is just such a genius. Like, the lyrics being confusing is a fair criticism of this song, but I personally can enjoy something even if it's not technically good or, makes sense. I appreciate this song even though it's kind of nonsensical. The production feels like when you wake up from a dream and you try to remember what happened in it, like your mind is blank and then things slowly start coming back to you. It feels like cogs in a really old machine starting to turn again, and throughout the song it like starts to spin faster and faster. So yeah, the production of the song is really good. And it just makes sense to me as the album opener. It's like she's going over everything that happened and trying to figure out where it went wrong. And that's how the music video goes too. It's like her memory got wiped and then she cleans her face off and the tattoos appear. And she just starts remembering everything almost against her will, right? And like she can't get over it. She tries to go back to work, which for her is songwriting. So like her sitting down at the typewriter, but he's all she can think about. And she gets electrotherapy to try to get over it, but he's still there. And I really love the part in the music video where they're like staring at each other, and at first they're both smiling, but then the camera pans to him and then it goes back to her and her smile is like dropped and she's like glaring at him. This scene shows that some part of her knew the relationship was never going to work and that Maddie was kind of playing her, but she felt so happy that she kind of just ignored the red flags. And I feel like a lot of the songs make this same point. So, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, I just really love the song and the music video. Like, it just makes sense to me. I think it really shows her headspace writing this album. And, she talked about how much she needed writing during this time to get through everything that happened. All right, the Tortured Poets department. This is also like one of my favorites on this album. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot, so be ready. But Tortured Poets Department, the song, is one of her most underrated songs, I think. The production and lyrics are a bit off-putting, like the drums at the beginning. It's very, like, unusual, especially hearing it that first time. But it's really grown on me. The song makes her look insane, but when you actually look at the lyrics, you realize how self-aware she was. Like, she is side-eyeing him the whole time. For his typewriter, for eating 7 bars of chocolate. Like, she's kind of getting the ick. But she understands him, and so she's playing along, even though it makes her look crazy to everyone else. And I really like how her tone changes in the bridge. It becomes like passive aggressive, like, who's gonna hold you and who's gonna know you? Like, who else? Because before she was saying it like, you know, we're so perfect for each other. Like, who else could hold you and who else could know you besides me? Like, it's cute and sweet, but in the bridge, it's like almost condescending. Like, where are you gonna find another person who puts up with your nonsense the way I do? And the outro is so good. It makes me feel like I'm ascending. One issue I've had with some of Taylor's recent production, especially on Midnights, is like, I like when the final chorus has extra fanfare. Lately, a lot of her final choruses just aren't hitting the way they need to. Like, they usually have extra vocals and production, but she's just not nailing it. And that's part of the reason I'm so excited for Showgirl, because this is something Max Martin is really good at, making an addictive final chorus. But the Torture Poets Department is a rare instance where the final chorus and outro is like really life-changing. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. This is such a good song. This was my favorite song on the album when it first released, and I fully expected it to go number 1 or number 2, because like Fortnite was obviously going to be number 1, right? But I was so surprised when it didn't. I think it was top 10, but it was pretty low on the top 10. I was like, huh? First of all, sickest army doll purchased at the mall. G.I. Joe. She's a genius, and I like, some of y'all need to start realizing it. Most of us know, but some people need to recognize it. And I know people are going to sit there and be like, this is about Maddie. I think this one is about both of them. My truth is, I think a lot of these songs are kind of about both of them, even the ones that feel like they're more about one than the other. I think there's a bit of both in all of them. When she says, you should have seen him when he first got me, like, this feels like Joe. Like, it seems like he really loved her at the start, but then neglected her towards the end. It fit too right. Puzzle pieces in the dead of night is giving So It Goes. All the pieces fall right into place. And this whole song kind of feels like a callback to It's Nice to Have a Friend. He saw forever, so he smashed it up. Could literally be about either of them, because she does drop hints that Maddie talked about getting married. Told Me I'm Better Off at the end feels like it's about Maddie, because he seemed to leave her because of the backlash they both got over it, so like that just makes sense for him. And I Knew Too Much There Was Danger in the Heat of My Touch also feels like it's about Maddie, because it feels like she understood him too well and he like got freaked out. I could keep going, but you get my point. I think the song's about both of them. That's my truth. People think the writing on this song is kind of basic, and sometimes I agree, but also some of the lines just hit like crazy. I'll repeat. There was danger in the heat of my touch. He saw forever, so he smashed it up. Like, 10 out of 10. And Pull the String and I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me is devastating. Like, the chokehold these men had on her is like frightening. Also, the outro of this song is also life-changing. I just said like it's been an issue, but unfortunately I can't lie, this one is also really, really excellent. People don't realize how sad this song is. And the way she sings it, like, people love to say that Taylor is a bad singer because she's not like technically perfect, but she's so good at expressing emotion and making the listener feel a certain way. She creates a mood with her singing, and it's so underappreciated because, you know, she can't sing like Ariana Grande. It's like, y'all, she's doing something amazing here. That's beside the point. But the way she sings this outro, you can hear her like desperation and yearning. Like, not just for him, but how things were at the start of the relationship and how like she felt. Like, the he took me out of my box, you can hear how badly she wants that feeling back, this freedom she felt when he first took her out of the box. I just really love the production of this song, but I also kind of wish she had made it sad. I go back and forth about it, but I think a lot of people would appreciate it more if it was sadder, but sometimes we need a sad banger, and that is this song. All right, next is Down Bad, and I don't have that much to say about it. I really loved it at first. It's like one of my highest streamed songs because I listened to it so much last year, and I do think it's a good song, but I just don't really listen to it that much anymore. It's pretty relaxed production-wise, at least compared to like other stuff on the album. And yeah, I think I might have just gotten bored of it. Like, she does a really good job capturing mood in this song. It's like she's a shell of her former self, and all of her energy has been drained by this breakup. And, you know, she's trying to go about her day, but ends up crying at the gym. I appreciate how relatable it is and the alien abduction vibes. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. I don't know. Maybe I just over listened to it, and that's why I don't really like it anymore. But, you know, she's still a good song. So Long London. I went on a journey with this song. I did get it as a surprise song, so I'm like very partial towards it now. I really like the lyrics, but when it first came out, I didn't think the production felt right. It feels very stressful. The beat feels like your heart is pounding. And, you know, her and Joe, their relationship had been going downhill for a while. So I was like, why doesn't this have a production like You're Losing Me or LOML or How Did It End? I kind of do think a slower, more acoustic production might have suited this song better. I think the intense, stressed production is meant to show this argument she's having with him in her mind, and how it feels when you're having that kind of argument. You know, he says she abandoned the ship, and she's like, actually, I didn't. I was all in, but you left me at the altar. It's like she knows she can't ever actually have this argument with him, or maybe they did have it, but like she just keeps playing it over in her head. So she put it into this song to get it out of her system. The song has really good visuals, like it's giving shipwrecked, wet and cold and sick and exhausted. Him drifting away is giving floating in the ocean, like that scene from the Cardigan music video. The song has a lot of really intense, like physical imagery, which I think is meant to show how the relationship has ruined her entirely, like not just mentally, but also physically. I mean, she literally says she died multiple times on this song. It is a very, very good track 5. Unfortunately, I do think she gets overshadowed by LOML and How Did It End, which is a shame because she is really, really good. All right, Bud Daddy, I love him. I don't think I've ever had my opinion change so much about a song as I did with this one. When it first came out, I was like, is Taylor trying to do country again? Like, I don't want this. I did not care for it at all. And it's not really a country song, but it has an energy to it that I was not partial towards. And it was kind of off-putting because she's kind of telling off her fans for being upset that she's dating a really problematic guy. And I kind of understand because some fans were being really weird about it, like that open letter. That was weird. She's right to tell these people, like, you can't force me to leave him, you can't control who I date, but it's also kind of giving, I don't care that my boyfriend is problematic and possibly racist, which is not great, but outside of this context, it is a really good song. Like, it captures the youth and innocence of a story like Romeo and Juliet in a way that's empowering and like for adult women as opposed to teenagers. And the live version on the Eras tour was so incredible. The drums that build up during the bridge are so good. Why aren't those in the studio version? I need the high quality versions of the Tortured Poet set so badly, and now I'm not even sure if we're ever gonna get them. Fresh Out the Slammer. All right, this is like one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I think, yeah, like I said earlier, either this or Fortnite is my favorite song on this album. The structure and production of this song are very unique and, to me, very satisfying. I love how the verses and choruses feel kind of switched. Like, the verses flow in a way which makes them seem like they are the chorus. And the song is very similar to Fortnite. The production builds like cogs in a machine starting to turn. The song is very bittersweet, both because she lost one love and found another, but also there's an underlying feeling, at least to me, that she knows her and Maddie won't work out, even though she's insisting that they're fated to be together. She says, now that I know better, I will never lose my baby again, but it's gonna be all right. I did my time. And you can kind of hear that she doesn't fully believe what she's saying, especially the last, but it's gonna be all right, I did my time. It feels like she's talking about both Joe and Maddie on that last one, because she was in a situationship with Maddie for years. So I think the end of this song represents her getting free from both of them and both of these relationships. Florida. I am a Florence fan, and I've been a Florence fan for a while, so I was really, really excited when I found out she was featured on this album. I think most people, including myself, we weren't disappointed, but we also weren't impressed by this song. The lyrics just aren't that relatable. Like, the sentiment of running away and starting a new life is relatable, but there's just a disconnect with the lyrics. My friends all smelled like weed and little babies is just kind of odd. And just how many of us have romanticized Florida, the state? Like, not many of us, I imagine, outside of like Disneyland maybe. But yeah, no, like the swamp, no. However, I was blessed to hear this song live, and seeing it live made something click for me. Like, I have to wonder if she wrote this with the intention of performing it on the Eras tour. Like, I think it's possible, I don't know for sure. But like, it was meant to be performed live. Like, if you haven't watched a video of it live, I suggest you do so, because the way the stage was lit was so satisfying. And their live vocals were really something else during this song. Like, the part when Taylor sings the chorus while Florence is doing background vocals it was like an out-of-body experience. It felt surreal. Florence's voice is really something crazy. And the fact that she never released a high-quality version of this is so evil to me. I'm like, do you not want money? I would have happily accepted another Torture Poets variant with a live recording of Florida included. So yeah, I felt meh about this song when it first came out, but now it's become one of my favorites. Might be my favorite performance of the tour because of how satisfying it was, but I could just be biased because it was like a surprise, and I really love Florence. Right, Guilty as Sin. This song is kind of a fan favorite, but it also has insane streaming numbers, so I'm like, is it just a hit? Or is it a fan favorite? I feel like because it wasn't on the radio, it's hard to think of it as a hit, even though it is. I must confess, I feel kind of meh about this song. I think I maybe even liked it more when it first came out. Like, sorry, I know people love this song. I do like how unhinged it is. There are no such thing as bad thoughts, only your actions talk. And my bed sheets are ablaze. I've screamed his name, building up like waves, crashing over my grave. Taylor's admitted to having emotional affairs before, but like, she's talking about getting off on the thought of this guy in the bed she shares with her partner. Like, and you didn't have to tell us any of this. Like, she wanted us to know. That's so crazy. It's just very dramatic and over the top, like throwing my life to the wolves or the ocean rocks. And what if I roll the stone away? They're gonna crucify me anyway. Comparing herself to Jesus is so crazy, and I didn't see her get any hate for this line either. I don't have an issue with it, but I can imagine a lot of people might. Like, because she's literally talking about having an affair and then comparing herself to Jesus. Like, okay, do your thing, girl. I think she's attempting to explain why she acted so crazy through this song. Like, in the foreword for the album, she describes her and Maddie's relationship as a temporary plea of insanity. So she knows she was acting crazy. So I think she's trying to show, what pushed her to that state. Like, her partner had been neglecting her, and she was just so desperate to feel love again, and then this guy came in and swept her off her feet like a fairy tale romance. And I also think this song might be a little satire. I think she's making fun of herself for this fantastical romance she built up in her head. Like, she wanted it so badly, but it was never gonna happen. Like, it was never real. But it was real to her. I can see why it's a fan favorite. We all like to fantasize about forbidden romance and the idea of fate bringing you to your true love, even though it's not realistic. And the production is beautiful, so why don't I like it? I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's just not my cup of tea, but I see the vision, and I get why other people enjoy it so much. Who's afraid of little old me? As a rep girly, I was overjoyed when this song came out. Like, we hadn't seen Taylor, playing the villain for a while, so I was quite pleased. It is kind of ham-fisted, like, comparing herself to a trained circus animal and talking about leaping from the gallows and being raised in an asylum. It does feel, I don't know if forced is the right word, but like a little ridiculous, I guess. But I appreciate it because it doesn't feel too serious, especially when you see it on the Eras tour. You can tell it's kind of a joke. You know, she does that little scream laugh in the middle of the song, and at the end that weird filter comes up over her eyes. Like, it's not that serious. To me, this is Taylor wanting to do something theatrical where she gets to play the villain, so it's amped up for the performance and for the vibe, and not because she's necessarily trying to garner sympathy or pity. Like, there is some truth to it, but it's mostly, you know, a performance. I think she made this song with the intention of performing it on the Eras tour. And, you know, that's her right. I'm gonna let her cook. And it's also a great song for TikTok edits, so naturally I really enjoy it. I definitely don't listen to it as much as I used to, but I do like it. I like songs you can imagine a fight scene to, so this really speaks to me. I Can Fix Him, no really I can. It exists. I think most of us agree we don't really need this song. The way she says, his hand so calloused from his pistol softly traces hearts on my face. Something tells me Maddie Healy doesn't have calloused hands. She makes him seem like a rugged cowboy and the kind of guy you don't want to mess with. And I'm like, are we being serious? Like, how much of this is a joke? Obviously, the I Can Fix Him is a joke because she knows she can't, but the way she describes him here as a tough guy, I'm like, are you making fun of him or are you being serious? Yeah, the song wasn't very interesting when it first came out, and it's not very interesting now. I feel like she just wanted to do the whole, like, I can fix him, oh, maybe I can't. Like, she just wanted to be a little silly. But I'm like, did we really need a whole song for that? LMML, this song is definitely, like, a hallmark in her discography. Many people believe it should have been track 5, and I go back and forth about it. Like, I don't really listen to slower songs as much as more upbeat ones, but even so, I do think this song is excellent. That's how I felt when it first came out, and that's how I feel about it now. So, some lyrics. If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. You and I go from one kiss to getting married. Still alive, killing time at the cemetery. Never quite buried. And all at once the ink bleeds. A con man sells a fool a get love quick scheme. And also the entire last chorus. Oh, what a valiant roar. What a bland goodbye. The coward claimed he was a lion. I'm combing through the braids of lies. I'll never leave, never mind. Our field of dreams engulfed in fire. Your arsons match your somber eyes. And I'll still see it until I die. You're the loss of my life. It really is just that good. I do think there are some misses on this song. Like, I don't love when your impressionist paintings of heaven turn out to be fakes, and dancing phantoms on the terrace, are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed because something counterfeit is dead? I do think some parts of this song are overwrought, but the majority of it is really, really good and some of her best writing. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I have mixed feelings about this song. I appreciate it because it's the only song we have about her view of the Eras tour as of right now. I talked a lot about this song and how I think it's an introduction to the showgirl era in another video. I like how maniacal she is about the fact that she tricked everyone into thinking she was fine when she was heartbroken. Like, she's really playing into this mastermind persona, and this song shows her ability to make her very unique Taylor Swift experiences relatable to the general public. So, yeah, I think it's worthwhile to have it on the album, but it's just not a personal favorite. I don't listen to it that much. Like, it's a very specific feeling of being proud of something you accomplished while going through something really difficult in your personal life. And I feel like if you're not in that kind of mood, you probably don't always want to listen to this song. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I also have mixed feelings about this song. Like, when it first came out, it was such a gag. We haven't had a song like this since Dear John. It shows a certain type of manipulation that some men do to women and how they just kind of get to walk away unharmed after emotionally wrecking the woman. It's like love bombing, right? And then getting what they want from her and then leaving her. Was any of it true, gazing at me starry-eyed? And I just want to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal. You said that normal girls were boring, but you were gone by the morning. It is very cathartic, and the bridge is so good. Like, we can't lie. But the verses kind of fall flat, especially that first verse where he's like buying pills from her friend and then the friend doesn't respond. It's just kind of weird. My headcanon is that Taylor heard Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish and was like, I want to do that, and then wrote this song. Because that song is also kind of meh at the beginning, but the bridge is so good that you're willing to overlook it. All right, The Alchemy. The Alchemy has grown on me quite a bit. In my brain, most albums have like a calm palate cleansing song towards the end. It's usually the second to last song. But this is that song on Tortured Poets. It's very refreshing and it's definitely necessary at this point in the album, given all the songs that come before it. I think when I first listened to the album, like, the song just was kind of overlooked because there was so much else going on. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites at this point, but I do enjoy it. It feels very victorious, like going to an after party after winning a football game, perhaps. Like, you're kind of tired and, drunk, but you're also just wide awake with excitement and everything going on around you. Like, it's like a core memory. The lyrics are not super interesting, like, they're very fun, and the line, "What if I told you I'm back," has so much potential within the Taylor Swift universe. Like, it's well written, but it's not impressive by Taylor standards. I just think she's a pleasant, fun little song, and I enjoy her. All right, we've made it to the end. Clara Bow. I skipped this song every time. When the album came out, like, I appreciate what it was saying, but it's just not for me. Like, I'm not usually in the mood to listen to a song like this. I definitely like it more now, especially seeing videos of it as a surprise song done acoustically made me like it a lot more. The flow of the chorus and the way the production builds are very satisfying, and what she's saying about women and how they are held to impossible standards and like constantly being tossed aside and replaced is like a very important message. It's very relatable because we can see this cycle happening year after year with like women in the public eye, but also the underlying sentiment of like the standards women are held to is just a relatable thing for us regular women, right? The song sounds weirdly hopeful despite how sad the message is. I think that could be because Taylor is like accepting that she is no longer the new generation and that these younger artists are now being compared to her, Olivia, Gracie, Sabrina. And we know this had been a fear of hers for a while from Nothing New and the Miss Americana documentary. She doesn't want to fade away and fears that society won't tolerate her as she gets older. So I think the hopefulness we hear might be Taylor realizing she can fight against this cycle and also realizing that she doesn't need to fear these younger artists, but she can be friends with them and work with them. It's hard to say for sure, but the song doesn't leave me feeling sad and hopeless about how unfairly women are treated. There's a sense of community or like hope. Perhaps we will hear more about this on The Life of a Showgirl. I'm fully expecting some female empowerment on this new album. All right, so that is how I'm currently feeling about the Tortured Poets department. It's definitely pretty high up on my Taylor Swift album ranking. I think she's my third favorite Taylor Swift album, so I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get some more visuals or music videos from her. I kind of expected some more music videos to come once the Eras tour finished because there's just so much potential for these songs. Anyway, I will be making a part 2 for the anthology, so be on the lookout for that. All right, let me know how you are currently feeling about the Tortured Poets department. Are you sad this era is ending? Are you excited for the Showgirl? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.